High Court. Chriselda, good afternoon to you. So from what we've been seeing outside court, a lot of jubilation, and it's a provisional ruling. So what's the significance of this, and what does it mean for Julius Malema?
Well, certainly this is quite significant for Julius Malema. You would know he's been maintaining, Natasha, from the very beginning that the National Prosecuting Authority did not have sufficient evidence to successfully try him in this matter. That's what he's been saying from the beginning. So for now, this may be a vindication for Julius Malema. But as that insert had already pointed out, that there is an indication, of course we'll hear from the National Prosecuting Authority, but an indication that perhaps the National Prosecuting Authority would need to go back to the drawing board and perhaps at a later stage look at reinstating these charges against Mr. Malema and the other two co-accused. Outside court, there's been quite a lot of jubilation. When Mr. Malema came outside court, he addressed the media first, saying that all along he knew that this was going to happen. He knew that they were going to win the first leg of this case, and the jubilation that we're seeing outside court, you recall yesterday Mr. Malema had said that supporters shouldn't come to court, they should go back to their lives. But these people here behind me started chanting Julius Malema as he came out, and when we spoke to them a bit earlier on, they were saying it's a vindication for Julius Malema, saying that the charges that had been brought against him were nothing but a political football. That's how some of them had actually described this. But I'm going to hear now from the National Prosecuting Authorities, Mr. Luvuyo Mfaku, who was also inside court this morning. Mr. Mfaku, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Certainly not what the National Prosecuting Authority was looking for. Julius Malema walked out of court a free man.
Chriselda, we still maintain our position that we are ready to proceed with the trial. The delays in proceeding with the matter were not occasioned by the NPA. You heard today that accused number 5 was not in court. We couldn't proceed. We couldn't actually proceed with separation of charges. We wanted all the 5 accused in one court to answer to the charges.
But it's certainly pointed out with Judge Moatle saying that the several delays, would seem to prejudice the accused, and that with so many delays, with the latest being that of Mr. Chriselda being in hospital, an indication sort of that the National Prosecuting Authority, the state, was not ready for this, the constant delays. What do you say to that?
Chriselda, if you recall what the judgment articulated to, there was no apportionment of blame. And we can categorically state that as the NPA, we never requested any postponement. The several postponements were requested by the defense when they forwarded representations to the Director of Public Prosecutions and later to the DPP. And then accused number 5, his legal representative has never been in court. He was not even in court today. And then how do you then say the NPA actually was responsible for the delay in proceeding with the matter?
Will you look at reinstating these charges at a later stage? Is that where you are at this point?
I can only articulate the procedure. I can only assure the public that a strike-off is not a verdict, it's not an acquittal. It can be reinstated on the basis of approaching a relevant DPP with jurisdiction to issue a certificate reinstating the matter.
All right, Mr. Luvuyo Mfaku, thank you very much for your time there. Mr. Luvuyo Mfaku from the National Prosecuting Authority. Just before you go there, Natasha, let's just speak to maybe perhaps one or two of the supporters of Julius Malema here. Mama, you were outside court today. Well, she's walking away from me. Outside court this afternoon, sir, you're here to support Julius Malema. I saw you're one of the people who was chanting songs.
Yeah, I was here. So today I'm happy to see Julius Malema walking out of the court. So the charges have been dropped. So I'm happy for him. We will always be behind him. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Let me speak to Umama as well, just the last person. Mama, I see you're also standing here. You're one of the people who was also chanting songs. Mr. Malema came to greet you here as well.
Yes, and I'm happy for him. Viva EFF, viva!
All right, certainly that's what the mood is like outside the court at the moment. It doesn't look like these supporters and members of the EFF are going to disperse from here any moment. Certainly there might be some kind of celebrations as well, Natasha, perhaps in the township of Julius Malema in Sashiko. Certainly we'll keep an eye on what celebrations perhaps might be taking place here. But the NPA, you heard there, not ruling out the possibility of reinstating those charges. But for now, Mr. Julius Malema is free to go.
Chriselda, thank you very much. There you have it. Chriselda Lewis outside the High Court in Polokwane. Well, staying